Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me on another video. I am in Port Elizabeth. I have moved here. Today is Saturday, so it is 6 days since I arrived in Port Elizabeth. Tomorrow and Sunday will be my 7th day, my first full week, and I must say it's been absolutely amazing. I really love the place and I think I made the right decision. And seeing as it's about 6 days in, I have picked up a few things about Port Elizabeth, like differences and similarities between it and Joburg, and maybe a little bit of Swaziland, or maybe a little bit of like Cape Town, because I've lived in all of these places. So I thought today I would give you things I've picked up about Port Elizabeth, or differences and similarities between Port Elizabeth and Johannesburg. And yeah, this is just my initial views. I mean, it's not concrete. I could be completely wrong, but these are what my initial views are. Don't mind my very thrown together bed. It is Saturday. I was lying in. I was enjoying life. Life is great. Don't forget to subscribe onto the channel if you're not subscribed, and if you're one of my golden oldies, hey, how you doing? Did you ever think that we would be in Port Elizabeth living our lives, being great? Yes, being great. And then I am firstly wearing a Illusions t-shirt. Yes, my baby, my niece. If you're in Swaziland, I will put details below as to where you can get your t-shirt from. This is the black one with the dye, and then she also has a white one with Illusion, and then I think the white one she also has one with like a cactus, a cacti, I don't know what you call them, plant on the side. But yeah, I will put down her Instagram and an email address that you can go find out how to order this stuff. So let me begin. Yeah, so today I actually took a walk, my first like really proper official walk through, because I arrived on Sunday, and on Sunday I had a company car, like a rental car that the university got for me, and I had it for Sunday, Monday, and I handed it in on Tuesday. So for the first 3 days I was driving, and then the rest of the days was really work days, and literally the university is like a stone's throw away from the guest house that I'm staying at, which I'm still staying at, as you guys can see. So it was mainly just work, home, work, home, work, home. And then so today is my first time that I actually walked around the neighborhood that I've been staying in, and this is a few things. The neighborhood, now let me explain the neighborhood that I'm staying in. It is probably 2 blocks away from the beach. The university is also very close to the beach. I actually have a sea view from my office. Yes, child. Yes. And I've even set up my office so that I can see the sea view. Everyone's like, your desk is so awkward. I'm like, let me be great. Let me be great, because I need to see this water. I traveled kilometers to see this water. I shall see the water every day. Anyway, why am I so hyped? Because I'm happy. I'm really happy, you guys. Anyway, so let's start off. So the neighborhood I'm staying in, it's quite a, I would say that it's probably like pretty schmancy like neighborhood, but it's also very like, unlike probably like seafront properties and things like that that you would think would be mostly like hotels and things like that, it's actually not. So there's a lot of like family homes here. A lot of the homes are also very much single story or double story. Nothing so extravagant. I mean, I'm sure there's some extravagant homes, but considering it's very sort of like suburbia, white picket fences. I think I actually saw a white picket fence. I'm almost positive I saw a white picket fence. And it's like two blocks away from the beachfront, as I've said. But the beachfront, and like when you imagine like beachfront property, you always think like sky rises and like, you know, like huge apartment complexes and like hotels and things like that. And yes, there is a couple of like really tall buildings, a couple of like hotels and that kind of stuff, but a lot of the property that is on the beachfront is actually like accommodation, like apartments, and they're not like schmancy apartments. These are like, a lot of people have said like beachfront property is for students. So if you're looking for accommodation for beachfront, you must know that your neighbor is probably going to be a student throwing parties. So you get the beachfront, but it's also like Studentville. So it's actually, it's not as unaffordable as you would think. So like a beachfront flat, for instance, would be about 5,000 rand for a 1-bedroom beachfront apartment. But because of the apartment blocks are so old, are quite old, most of them, you have really older finishes and things like that, but you get like the sea view. And when I say beachfront, I mean like apartment, road, beach. I don't mean like apartment, blah 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 blah, and then like beach. I mean like literally a beachfront apartment that is looking literally into the beach with nothing in front of it would be about 5,000 rand for a 1-bedroom. And but you know that you're dealing with like older finishes. The more inland you go, the more you sort of find townhouses, you find a lot more newer finishes, newer complexes, newer all of that stuff, but they're also a little bit smaller, I think. So something else that I've noticed that between Joburg and Port Elizabeth is that there aren't any like mega shops. So you know, like I don't know if you're from Joburg, you know that William Nicol Pick and Pay, not even a William Nicol Pick and Pay, like a Melville Pick and Pay or a Cresta Pick and Pay. Those shops, that's like mega. Like I just come from a Pick and Pay, and the Pick and Pay that I come from is smaller than a Pick and Pay in Swaziland. Yeah, that tells you something. So there aren't any like mega shops, or none that I've seen anyway. So there might be, maybe I heard that there's a big mall between here and East London, so maybe in there is like these like massive shops, but like within Port Elizabeth itself, and I'm not talking about the whole of Port Elizabeth, I'm just talking about the areas that I've seen, which is areas close to the airport and close to the university, like Walmer, Summerstrand, Humewood, South End. But yeah, basically there aren't any like big. There is a casino by the beachfront, which I haven't gone to yet, which I'm thinking might be something like Monte Casino, but other than that, like I haven't seen like massive shopping centers or things like that. It's more like these like neighborhood shopping centers where you have like the spa and a couple of like local shops and you know, like yeah, like local businesses and that kind of stuff, but nothing major. To give you an example, I went to Clicks today, and the Clicks that I went to, which is also in like a little local shopping center, didn't sell stockings. So when you go into the shops, just know that it's not a one-stop shop. Like this whole like you find everything under one roof, it's not happening in PE. I mean, the nice thing about that is that PE is actually quite small, or maybe the neighborhoods that I've been to, it's quite small. So like sourcing things doesn't seem to be a big issue, and also they don't have the issues with parking and traffic that we have in Johannesburg, so you don't actually mind driving around. Or I think that I wouldn't mind driving around because it's so much easier to find parking and there isn't that much traffic, and it's literally driving like 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, like nothing over like 10 minutes, nothing. On the other hand, that's really good because there's also a lot of like local businesses, so you're not finding like shops like a Pick and Pay taking over like entire industries, you know what I mean? Like it's still everybody's still in it to win it, you know, and everybody's still in competition with everybody. Granted, I mean, I think Pick and Pay's competition is probably like, you know, they're like, yeah, we are in competition but yeah, like you get what I'm saying. On the other hand, there's no Woolies food, y'all. Can we take a moment? Can we please take a moment to realize that there's no Woolies food? You know, when you come from a place where the garages have a little Woolies food in it, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a place where you have to drive for about 20 minutes to find a Woolies food. Yeah, no Woolies food. No Woolies food, y'all. There's one that I sourced. It's about a 20-minute drive down that way, airport side. Now when I say airport, the airport is actually around the corner, y'all. It's like 20 bucks to Uber from where I am to the airport. Okay, not 20, it's like 30. But the airport is like, it's about 20 minutes from the airport, which is far for Port Elizabeth. And it's actually quite far because at some stage you just have like a traffic that goes like this, and it can actually back up a bit, especially like peak hour and that kind of stuff. So you actually end up spending, you could end up spending about 30 minutes in traffic trying to go get yourself some Woolies food. And maybe it's a good time to let go of Woolies, you know, girl, be living on a budget now. Like, I hope you Gapsters have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what else you'd like to see on the channel, and then I will see you on the next video. And don't forget to please comment, like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye Gapsters.